Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Tasmania Police is searching for a person who fled the scene of a 2-vehicle fatal crash in Launceston last night. A ute rolling onto 2 pedestrians, killing a 26-year-old man, while another remains in hospital with serious injuries.
A simple tribute marking the spot a young life was cut short. 2 relatives from Trevelyan standing on the footpath near this Margaret Street intersection, struck by a ute as it rolled. The impact killing a 26-year-old man and seriously injuring a 46-year-old who remains in Launceston General Hospital. A Triton travelling along Margaret Street striking this Toyota hatch as it attempted to turn across the ute's path.
The Triton has impacted the side of the Toyota, and as a result of the height difference has rolled onto its left-hand side.
The occupants of the 2 cars were not injured. 4 people inside the black Toyota ran from the scene, police quickly arresting 3 of them nearby a short time later, while the other remains on the run.
Their motivations for leaving the scene of the crash are unknown. It's concerning that anyone would leave the scene of a crash, let alone one where somebody's been seriously injured or killed. We know who that person is, and we're encouraging them to come forward as well and speak to us.
Police are still to determine the exact cause of the crash.
Members of the public who were present at the time and didn't speak to police, or if you have dash cam footage or CCTV in the area, to please bring them forward to us so that we can examine those.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
The PM set his sights on Tasmania as the road to the referendum draws to a close, and those yet to vote across the state have just hours to decide where they stand.
Using their voices to give one to Indigenous Australians. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese greeted with open arms, selecting Tasmania as a final stop on a marathon campaign, the only state leaning towards a majority of yes votes for a voice to Parliament.
Right now, we are living in no, where we have an 8-year life expectancy gap, where an Indigenous young male is more likely to go to jail than to university.
His call for cultural recognition and change echoed across Tasmania.
The solutions to our problems are culturally unique, and this voice will give us the opportunity to be able to resolve those problems, to be able to speak to the people who make the decisions on our lives.
I don't think there's anybody in this country who is comfortable with the amount of money that is spent in the name of Aboriginal affairs, but never makes a difference on the ground.
Local Labor politicians on door-knocking duty to educate the undecided. As of noon today, more than 125,000 Tasmanians had cast a ballot, leaving close to 3/4 of voters to follow suit, including those who applied for a postal vote but are yet to receive it.
I've already voted and support the yes, so we can move this country and this nation forward in unity together.
The Premier hoping he has more success convincing the public than he's had with his own party.
I've already voted no, and I'm very concerned because I think all Tasmanians and all Australians should be treated equally, and likewise I have concerns with respect to legal ramifications.
More than 300 voting locations will be open from 8 to 6 tomorrow. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, St Mary's has secured a permanent GP after its only doctor quit following 16 years of service. Dr Latt's replacement will be based at a private general practice, which Oka Health and the state government plan to open later this month. Health Minister Guy Barnett says it will secure ongoing health services and care for the community.
The heavy lifting's been done by the state government, and although primary healthcare services is a responsibility of the federal government, the state government stepped in and delivered.
Dr Latt will work with Oka Health to ensure a smooth transition of services. Young northern students training to be doctors will be able to stay in their local areas thanks to a new teaching facility now open in Latrobe. The Rural Medical Workforce Centre, operating out of Mersey Hospital, aims to give trainee doctors the hands-on experience they need to thrive in a rural setting.
Sometimes when people do move away, they learn about city medicine or things that only happen in specialist centres. But actually what we want to do is train people to work in rural areas and make sure that they've got the skills for that.
Hope is they will then stay in regional areas where there's a heavy demand for GPs. Celebrations have been held on the lawns of Parliament in Hobart this afternoon for an environmental activist who has been released from jail. Dr Colette Harmsen has spent the past 3 months in Mary Hutchinson's women's prison after being arrested for protesting logging in Tasmania's native forests.
I made a lot of friends in jail. I wouldn't say that it was enough time to change me. I'm certainly just as resolved to protect the forest than I was before I came in.
Our aim is to end native forest logging, and we will end native forest logging, and it's people like you, Colette, who are paving the way for that, showing that we all have to be strong.
Today, Dr Harmsen's supporters dedicated a song to her, while the Bob Brown Foundation has vowed to continue protecting native forests and its inhabitants. The next generation of female Tasmanian basketballers are getting the opportunity to learn from one of the best. Australian Hall of Famer Michelle Timms delivering a round of skills sessions through the She Hoops program, designed to show young girls a pathway to a professional career.
I want them to have some fun. You know, we just had a session then which was 2.5 hours of a lot of fun, and you know, as coaches we've got this incredible ability to use basketball as a vehicle for teaching not only basketball skills but life lessons as well.
While she's been here, Michelle has also been keeping an eye out for potential future opals. A world first in horse hoof technology is helping put Tasmania on the equestrian map following the development of a new app. The local business exports modern fitted shoes to over 85 countries, promising more comfort for equines.
It's not quite Manolo Blahnik, but for horses, it's the next best thing.
It's a healthier option and it's just better for the welfare of horses.
Scoot Boot, an app, was developed here in Tasmania, following a multitude of calls for better hoof technology, which co-founder Annette says just wasn't evolving.
So what we're doing is we're innovators and disruptors in a 2,000-year industry where horses were made to wear shoes, but now to their feet.
Rather than a steel horseshoe, the product is about fitting each hoof individually with a lightweight material, trialled today at the Coal Valley Equestrian Centre.
We can not only be fitting a horse, but we can also be fashionable, which is very important.
To make horses more comfortable and to do it in such a stylish way is a fantastic innovation.
It's since serviced thousands of horses across 85 countries. The group hope to see it one day feature on the racetrack rather than just equestrian events.
Allowing a little bit of flexibility and allowing horses to race barefoot. And I am seeing that. I'm seeing a movement now across the globe.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
It's 3 in a row for the Jack Jumpers, dishing out a commanding win over Illawarra. The dominant display equalling the club's highest ever score, while helping the Jackies march to the top of the ladder for the first time. First to score, the Jack Jumpers never ceded control.
Beautiful move from Lee.
With a masterclass for a bewildered Illawarra, keeping their opponents to the low 70s for a third straight game.
It's nice, obviously, but it's probably not the realm that the most games are going to be in. But, you know, our sweet spot is in the high 70s and 80s defensively for us.
Matching the defensive prowess we've seen in recent weeks while adding a laser focus on the hoop. 103 points, the club's equal highest score. Some credit going to the raucous home crowd.
Even when we're playing bad, playing good, whatever the case is, you can still feel the energy in the room. And that definitely kind of uplifts us at times.
Crawford and fellow import Milton Doyle leading the charge.
Turn around and hit. What can't he do?
They create a lot of shots for guys, and I think, like I said, in the beginning of the season, we've improved our shooting around a little bit better.
Jack McVeigh close behind with 15 points. Mojuk Dang showing what he can do, making 4 from 6 attempts.
He's a shot maker. The good news is no one wanted him, except the Jack Jumpers. And he's a piece of gold that we have, and he fits into the exact style, a family guy, grounded.
The Jackies have a shot at 4 in a row when they play Phoenix tomorrow night. Tasmania has claimed this year's Inclusion AFL trophy, beating South Australia in the grand final this afternoon. The win almost wasn't to be, a shot in front of the post, putting us ahead in the dying moments.
The crowd are up at Brighton Homes Arena. Tassie's in front. There's a minute to go.
Joel Corbett awarded Best on Ground.
Good evening. Today, Hobart 16 degrees, a little warmer in Launceston, the state's top of 21, Devonport 19 and Burnie 18 degrees. Looking further abroad, we saw 19 degrees recorded at Friendly Beaches, St Helens 18, Flinders Island, Low Head and Bushy Park 16, King Island, Maria Island, Grove and Strawn all 15, Luncheon Hill 13, Lyawini 9 degrees. Now the satellite shows low cloud over Tasmania, tending to overcast low cloud about western and southern areas. A large area of low cloud is blanketing southeastern Australia, otherwise the remainder of the country remains cloud-free. Tomorrow we can expect another cold front embedded in the west to southwesterly, flowing over the state, and the large high pressure system sits over the south of WA, extending a ridge towards New South Wales, delivering mostly settled conditions over the mainland. West to southwesterly winds 20 to 35 knots, reaching up to 30 knots over the upper east coast. Swells increasing 4 to 6 metres in the west and south. A gale warning has been issued for the majority of the state tomorrow, with the exception of the upper east coast. A strong wind warning is in place for remaining coastal and inland waters. A sheep graziers alert is also in place for many parts of Tasmania tomorrow, and also a bushwalkers weather alert for snow in the western and central plateau districts. Tomorrow, Hobart showery and windy conditions, expecting 16 showers for Medina, just 10 degrees, 13 and windy in Oatlands. Possible showers are on the way in Launceston, 16 to the top, 16 and windy with showers in Devonport, similar conditions in Lyawini with 7 degrees. Showers and windy conditions for Burnie, Strawn and Marrawar, all 14. Becoming windy in St Helens, 18, partly cloudy and 17 in Swansea, with similar conditions, 16 for Orford. Sunday, showers about the west and far south and central plateau, extending rather statewide during the day, with snowfall to 700 metres. Monday, showers continue mainly about the west and south, with snowfall continue to 700 metres. Tuesday, mostly fine apart from possible isolated morning showers in the west, with a possible morning frost. Taking a look now further north, 32 and sunny in Perth, also sunny in Sydney with 29, a shower or two in Adelaide, 19 to the top, cloud clearing with a maximum of 30 degrees in Brisbane. And currently we're seeing mostly cloudy conditions in Hobart, Launceston and Devonport. Kim, according to tomorrow's forecast, I think it's going to be a lovely day for a Saturday morning sleep in.
I would have to agree, a rotten weekend of weather. Thank you very much, Kaya. Well, that is all your news for this Friday. Thanks for joining us this week. Lou will join you tomorrow night from 6 ahead of our special referendum coverage. For now though, good night.